this is Pigsy. A bit steamed up actually. It's a bit of cool air, so if you're hearing a fan in the background, that's what it is. Had a really interesting experience. I'll shove a picture on here, a picture from a friend I have in Russia, and she showed a picture, and she was sort of dressed in a kind of, I don't know, maybe we'd say it's like a Wiccan type clothing, or maybe it's very traditional, I don't know, in Russia. I mean, she does live in a kind of rural area, I believe, and maybe that's more traditional for her. Anyway, she's in a cave, so and what you can see in the cave is basically orbs. You can see there's some orbs with her, and just how dark it is there. I've got my lights on. Yeah, so you can see these orbs in this cave next to her. So I told her what they are. So I don't want to spook you out with these things I looked at, and they're quite unusual. And anyway, so I thought about that, and I went to sleep. And sometimes, I mean, you might have this as well, is that you kind of have, if your third eye feels a bit active, you sometimes get flashes. So you're in bed, and then you see a flash just as your eyes are resting. Now, I didn't know if it's like electrical pulse. You know, kind of a bit like when you're in bed, sometimes your leg might jolt, and that tends to be an electrical activity. And yeah, so I was wondering if it was like an impulse from the brain to the eye, the optic nerve, but it isn't. And then another night I had it where I could see some images of greys in my head, and they were sort of happy. There was nothing malicious about it. You know, I don't know. There might be a whole. I think we concentrate on things being far out in the universe, but I don't think they have to be at all. I think they could be just living on Earth, and it's like they've entered this dimension through something. Well, they've always been here, and like I say, we could be these creatures. I might have chosen to forget everything in order to be incarnated into a human body, so I could basically take on a new form, because I've got different features, different attributes, so it's all quite possible. So anyway, yeah, so it's all these orbs, so I'll let her know about that. So get rid of a bit of background noise over there. Last night I went to sleep, and like I say, I didn't really have anything major spiritual at first, but what I had was, just follow the curve of the road, it was actually, well, I woke up, I closed my eyes again, and I just rested my eyes, and I was going to drifted back into sleep world, and I was just in blackness in my mind, and I was travelling in blackness, and like in my mind I saw these lights. So I looked at them, focused on them, and they got closer, and they were so intense that it was, you know, it was almost hurting my mind to focus on them. It was very strange. It was like too much of a strong energy. And what was weird about it, because I had my eyes closed, you know, if you see something in your mind, it's not like you wouldn't think you'd be blinded by a dream, would you? But yeah, really intense orb-type lights connected to the consciousness. So, and I think a lot more of this stuff's going to happen, more interdimensional activity. I think maybe they like my Orgon eggs. I'm obviously under some type of review, but maybe we all are. You know, if you're not really spiritual, then you're kind of quite easy to process. So yeah. you're doing something different, they tend to observe you, which tends to be interesting. Right. Yeah, so I think it's just a kind of natural progress. As we become more spiritual, there's going to be more activity from the beings. And also it kind of explains potentially what space is. The question that's coming to my mind is like the stars. I was having these thoughts about like rock star, porn star. I use the word star as a point of reference, as a kind of example of perfection, or you know. But why do we use that phrase star? It's like something to worship. So maybe in the past we used to worship the stars. I think certainly that they could be very conscious things, energy orbs basically, and they may twinkle, because when you look at them, you observe them, you influence them. They may not twinkle if you don't look at them, which may sound weird, but I mean there's things in NASA that we could question. No one in school said if you're in space you can't see the stars. They can be seen on Earth because the atmosphere magnifies the light, so basically it causes some refraction or some expansion of light, but in space you can't see them at all. So in a different frequency, I don't know. So when they take pictures in space of stars using these special lenses and telescopes, they must be using only the infrared spectrum, because I've got pictures of space nebulas and stuff. Look beautiful, but are they real? I don't know. Or maybe they were at the time, but they're not actually what's really out there. It kind of the universe is always playing one step ahead, and there's multiple consciousness at different levels. Like this planet, for instance. You know, every time I wake up, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to feel like a new person. I don't remember all the stuff happened before in time. I can dig it out in my memory. But am I just projecting myself backwards in time and trying to find root causes for things to happen? And if we share consciousness, we're not limited to anything. So it's a bit more in-depth. There's other debates as well, like religious debate. So animals have been created, some animals, not all animals, been created to be meat eaters, and it's a part of the process. It's not cruel, it's just, well, it's not pleasant for the being at the time, because they naturally want to live, and maybe they only know of life. So why do they need to experience death as a point where they don't exist, maybe to value what they are, but then people and things keep reliving these cycles of death. So why would we want to trauma someone's body? Does it make us love more? Or want more from life itself? I mean, I get it, if you couldn't die, you know, you'd be just banging your head against a brick wall for kicks and treating this place, I mean, just go around killing things when you try to be like some sort of cartoon. And I don't think really that's the minds that we want to be in. So it had to be a very real experience. That's why I went beyond simulating something to be in something. And in the past, maybe the simulator had to be updated because people had a conscious memory of what they were before, and then they took that and then they tried to recreate this in some other image of their own image. You know, it's kind of like they were I turned it to some sort of weird game. I think there's definitely points in time where corrections were made. But why did the human species have an X chromosome? Did they always have an X chromosome? Maybe they didn't. But maybe they needed it, so it could be grafted with an animal and become some centaur or some other being, or maybe these beings already exist anyway, but in different dimensions. The interdimensionals seem to understand the place better than we do, but they're not restricted by a memory loss. He's an organic being, so we just pilot it, and where do we go when we sleep, and these bigger questions. I was waking up like the Mandela effect. You know, there was kind of little subtle changes around you that you kind of accepted were just happened. Or deja vu. These are all sorts of little things thrown in there to help you. But even that thing where I saw these orbs, pretty powerful consciousness. Are these angels or angelic forms? I mean, I would call them the illumin, because they illuminate. What's going on here? Oh, there's something going on. A bit of slapdash parking. That's lovely. So, yeah, I mean, it might be maybe dark forms as well, I don't know, from what we call the Mother Void. There's a good stuff from Broche, Sanchez and Santos Bonacci, stuff that kind of makes you think. I'm not one to sort of just like swallow the pill. I'll just kind of play with the theme though, you know, learn there's more there. I have to follow my own heart, and I think there's a lot of dimensional properties, and that the world is energy in different densities, and we don't have control over it in the way we would like to, because we don't have the right to hack straight into the mainframe and monkey around with it. I mean, there's probably watchers and other beings that are quite present. And they're not to be messed around with. You know, I don't think abducting people. They might be doing something to them. Might be doing something with their consciousness translates that they've been tortured, or maybe they have been tortured. I don't know. I mean, I woke up with a scratch on my leg. I don't know what I'd done. You know, to catch on a bramble. I can't remember any bushes or anything. So where did I cut my leg? Because it was about a 3-inch slice across it. So yeah, it's not a deep cut, it's just strange it's there. Anyway, this is Piggy sign off, so that's my orb experience. Maybe you had your own, it'd be interesting to find out, and have a good one.